US job results for March came out much worse than expected today. Employers hired at the slowest rate in 9 months, a sign the current austerity drive could be stealing momentum from the economy. I'm joined on Dukas Copy TV once again by Jarrat Davis, professional currency trader at Independent Portfolio Managers, to give us a lowdown on what this means for US growth and easing. Jarrat, firstly, does the result today add to the prospect of more QE?
I think obviously the number today was bad, a lot worse than expected, but if you look at the actual revision from last month, that was actually revised up from 236 to 268,000. So actually, the overall picture isn't that bad on the NFP. So I do, we're of the opinion that QE will probably remain intact as it is until the Fed's target rate of 7% unemployment is reached, basically. That figure came out at 7.6, so it's not really dropping at the moment. So we basically anticipate that QE will just continue as it has.
So do these revisions we have seen and the ones yet to come take the sting out of the low figure today?
Yes, I do, yeah, definitely. Because there's obviously markets reacted quite heavily to it initially, but I do think that a lot of the sting is taken out by the revision. I think overall, when you actually look at all the numbers, it's not actually as bad as it first seems.
We have seen disappointing data out from the US this week. Is this just another springtime slowdown? Yeah, I mean, I think the recent figures that we've seen are ultimately just like a little slowdown or a blip. It's obviously hard to prognosticate the future value of anything accurately, but when we look at the US as a whole, I think it's got a much greater potential to grow its way out of recovery. It's just got a much better potential than things like the EU or the UK. So I do, our personal opinion is it's just a temporary slowdown, and the growth will come back throughout the year. Have the $1 billion of government spending cuts that were started at the beginning of this month had an impact on the labour market?
I think it's difficult to say at the moment because obviously it was only about a month ago, basically. I think you probably need a little bit more data to come out. The last round of data was a few negative announcements. I think, like I said, it's just a temporary blip. Like in terms of labour market, we've had positive numbers coming out for unemployment in mid-March. If you think back to, I think it was the 14th of March that came out. And then, of course, today we had the worse than expected NFP numbers. So it's a little bit mixed, and ultimately it doesn't really give us anything conclusive for now. So I think if those numbers continue to get worse over the coming months, I think we'll see a negative impact. But at the moment, I think it's a little bit too early to tell.
And how will the results today affect what Obama addresses at the US budget debate on Wednesday?
I think basically everything's kind of as it is, really. I think, like I said, with the revisions and the fact that unemployment's still 7.6, I think the economic situation in the US, the growth potential is still there. I don't really think anything's actually majorly changed. I can't see it affecting any kind of policy decisions or in terms of budgets and things like that. I don't think anything's really going to change from what was already expected.
You mentioned growth there. Do you expect the previous spending cuts to slow gross domestic product in the second quarter?
Yeah, well, we obviously done our own calculations, and our opinion is basically that growth probably will slow down. We think it probably slow down by around 0.6% due to those cuts. But in the long run, like I said, we do think the US has got a greater potential to grow its way out of the problems it's in. So even though it will probably slow down, we do overall think it will probably start to pick up over the coming year or two after that.
That was Jarrat Davis from Independent Portfolio Managers on Non Farm Payrolls. We'll bring you all the latest news from the budget debate as it happens next week. Have a great weekend.